Hi.
How are
Guys,
you?
I need to step up my video game after watching that. I'm like, shoot, that's a great intro.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Well, today we have Amanda Douglas here with us. She is with Celebration Title. You're the visionary, the founder, the owner. You kind of the brains behind all of this. So, we brought you on today because we really want to pick your brain. Owning businesses, whether you're in real estate as a single agent, a team leader, whatever. We're running a business, and you are too. And what you've done with your business, I think, has been so unique and so exciting to our industry. So I just kind of wanted to bring you on here and share with what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm so inspired by that intro video again. I'm like, shoot, I need one of those every time I go on to speak. But, super fortunate to be here. And I think you said it perfect, right? I'm kind of visionary CEO. I don't even know what my title is anymore. Sometimes they just call me new girl because I mess everything up sometimes. So, like when you get involved and they're like, we've got it, Amanda, like we're doing it. But, we're super fortunate to have grown as quickly as we have. And we kind of, we have to understand the real estate agent's brain, which is a very hard one to break down sometimes too. But, our big goal, right? We have to understand people like Jason. That's hard. But no, we just really want to, ultimately we like to think of ourselves as like a very realtor friendly title company. Like how can we do something that is so different that we take that stress off of you? Not only, like when you're running around and you're having to do a million different things, like we're very heavy on our technology as well as systems and things that we really support our agents in, whether it be help with, marketing or whatever they need help with, we like to have those resources in place. And on the flip side of that too is, the company has really grown so quickly because of our focus on your client, which really ultimately makes you look good too. And it's, something I had a vision of, when I've been in title for, I guess I'm going to date myself now, like 15 years. And when I first started in title, it's just always one of those very normal businesses and something that hasn't changed, very antiquated, something that hasn't evolved and changed. You constantly see real estate agents changing and differentiating and doing things different and really branding themselves. But title has always been the same. And I think I kind of just fell into this, like, how can we make it so different and so much more exciting? And because it should be, it really, like every closing, you like probably every closing you've been to, except Celebration, you're just sitting there like, God, when is this over? Like, can we please?
You're right.
Like they just want to move into their house already. So we try to make that moment at the closing table a celebration experience. And so we really we focus on the moment for the client, whether it be closing a chapter, beginning a new chapter, but really celebrating with them. And so, I always tell everybody the idea actually for the Canon came up when there's like two things that make me cry: my children and like the golden buzzer moments on America's Got Talent, when like the confetti comes out of the ceiling. Yeah. That's one day. That's like 2.0 celebration. But the cannons are really, it's been such a crazy evolution. Like we don't own these cannons. They're like gender reveal cannons that we found online. And I think it just has actually kind of forced people to realize like, hey, title companies can actually help you celebrate your clients at the closing table. And once you're to that point, most of us have been through that buying process or that selling process. Like you do kind of want to just talk about your family and what you're going to do with your house at that point. It's been 45 days of stress. Yeah. And so we just thought, hey, what can we do at the closing table to really make ourselves different? And that's where we came up with the Celebration Canon. So the Celebration name, really came from wanting to celebrate from the very beginning.
That's awesome. And that was one of the things that I just fell in love with because, we do this day in and day out. And I think, it's easy to just get into that routine of this is what I do, sign here, do this. But, these are huge moments in our clients' lives. And so to know that, when we get to that end of the road and we're there, that is something that's just such a nice surprise. I don't think a lot of them even expect it, and it's just fun. Like, and I love, you need to do a blooper reel though, because I've seen some of the cannons
Oh my gosh, yeah. So if they point in that, we have to train them like point it up and don't, there was one the other day pointed right at the lady doing a video and it knocked her cell phone out of her hand. It was the best
It was so funny. I was like, that's the greatest video I've seen.
Yeah,
So
we've got some pretty funny ones. We have another one where the guy had it upside down and literally like shot it at himself. It was great. But it's fun. We have such a good time with it. And I think the other element of it too is like just working in title for so long and understanding personalities, right? So the personalities of who I employ and who's a part of our team, really we have to try to match them to the positions they're doing. And I think that's another thing. A lot of people are like, you're a processor or you're a closer or you do this. And it's very like rigid, where we've kind of shooken that up a little bit. And like the people in our closing room are like, they're really trained to make you have fun and have like a really good experience. They're more of that high I personality that get along with the real estate agents, and you want to, talk and try to get referrals while you're at the closing table. So again, it's a lot of understanding personalities. And I think that's why we've grown so quickly, and we're so fortunate to come into the Tampa market just towards the end of last year. And, starting to take off really quickly with the help of Lori, who's out there in Tampa. I hope she's tuning in. Hey, Lori.
And that was one of the things I guess I kind of wanted to touch on too, is, I am very impressed just from like the team standpoint of how you've grown and how quickly you've grown it. And how do you keep that culture, that dynamic? Because I think for you, like you said, it's not about the title, it's about the experience and ensuring that you are delivering on that same experience, whether you're in the Orlando market, the Tampa market, and just, what are you doing as like a team leader to get everybody involved and keep them engaged?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, our culture is so unique and it's kind of evolved on its own. Like, how can you not be happy when you're working in an office with confetti like all day long and like surprise moments? And I honestly used to think that when I worked in title and I was a closer, like everybody was so stressed out all the time. And it's just because we're in that business where you're like at the finish line and you just want to get things done. But, our culture kind of evolved on its own. Like we like to do a lot of the crazy fun stuff we do with real estate agents and clients with our team too. So, we force them to do crazy things on social media, and like we're big on our social media. And that's one thing when we hire, we're like, do you like video? Because you're going to be on video. So, but yeah, we just, everything with culture is big, especially now that we're spread out with 11 offices. We have to make sure, and you can ask my team, like I am big on like culture is number one between operations and sales and marketing. How can we continue to push? We have we have an internal culture calendar. So we celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, and then we have fun days and different things like that. But our internal culture calendar is something that like we live and breathe by.
That's awesome. Yeah. And now as far as, everything, like you said, like you've kind of been expanding during a crazy time, right? Like COVID hit, you just launched the Tampa market. What are you seeing though, as far as like from like the title standpoint? I know we're feeling here with like how fast everything's moving, but how is that transitioned? Like your vision, I guess, has it changed it? Has it sped it up?
So it's pretty interesting. Something else that we've always really focused on is education. And that's something I'm huge on with real estate agents. And I actually, before I opened the title company, I was a real estate agent for about 1.5 years. So I learned a lot. I wanted to learn a lot of real estate and figure out how I can help. And one of the big things was education. I think that's where we connected as well. We ended up during COVID and during the pandemic, my team just like jumped in. We shifted all of our education virtual. We took a lot of our classes virtual. We're doing a big summit on Thursday. So you guys sign up. We're doing a summer camp summit. So it's kind of like themed around, because nobody can go to summer camp right now. So we're going to bring a summer camp virtually to you. So if you want to see me looking like a park ranger, like log online, we're all going to be dressed up and just being fun, pretending like we're around a campfire. But basically a full day of immersion of a lot of our classes. And we're going to have some fun motivational speakers in between. And then we're going to have a live pitch fest at the end where we actually have 4 real estate agents that are going to pitch a listing presentation, and then we're going to pick a winner, and they actually get, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a pitch fest type thing online, but it's going to be really fun. We like to really try to push
it. I was going to make him do it. I saw it. Yes. He should do it because you're super competitive like that. You would love it.
Yeah. And we win a free weekend getaway to the Grove. Yeah, right. For the family.
That's
so
cool.
I'm going to make you do it. I'm going to hold you to it now. But it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's just something different, right? Because I think collaboration is everything. And one big thing that I hold true in our mission and everything is like just to be contagious, not competitive. And that's something I always hold true, not only to my own team, but to everyone in the real estate industry. Is like, you know, if we see other people doing a canon, I'm like, I'm happy. Like, I want to see people celebrated at the closing table. That's ultimately what the mission is just to innovate the industry altogether.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, so again, it's just big focus on education, especially during the pandemic. But to your question on where do we see them, like, honestly, we've had our best months during this last couple of months. It's crazy. I definitely see a lot of agents that did a ton of planning, a ton of changes in processes and systems during the times they were at home. And as soon as, you know, we got the green light to really start, you know, doing open houses and showings and all of that again, like, it definitely has taken off. So we had a record-breaking month last month. We'll do it again this coming month. And, you know, we're seeing the quality of agents really increase too. It was beautiful to see so many agents focusing on themselves and educating themselves during this time that they had off as well.
And I will say that's one of the things that I loved, is because you do offer some very different trainings that I think just kind of go into a little bit more depth as far as like what agents really need. I mean, obviously the title 101 and all those things, those are important. But then as agents, I think we spend so much time trying to figure everything out, right? And how you guys brought that in and streamlined it. That was one of the things that I was like really impressed with. But then also, like, even just this event that you're doing on Thursday, I mean, you brought in some speakers there, that, you know, like the keynote speakers. Like, it's sorry, the dog is like coughing in the background. So if you hear something, it's not us every time we get on video.
Okay. Yeah, so we have so I'm big on, and again, something I pour into my team is you know, the personal development side of it. You know, I'm huge into meditation and Tony Robbins and just anything that I can do personally. Like, you know, I get the benefit of going to these amazing conferences and the John Maxwell leadership certifications and all of that, and I take that and you know, I pushed everything back to my team, and then of course to the real estate community, because I think that kind of stuff is important too. So we mix in a lot of personal development. We mix in a lot of social media training. I feel like that is something that a lot of agents struggle with, and it's something our team is really good at, to a point that we actually have, you know, a full-time marketing team on staff now that we utilize a lot of their training. They're young, they're like very innovative, very creative, and you know, we have so many creatives that work here, which is like, we just say we're like a marketing company disguised as a title company. Sometimes it's like bizarre. And I'm like, okay, guys, no more ideas. Like, we've got enough. We have enough ideas for like years. Let's just go ahead and implement all of these. But I think that's the beautiful thing, because they can take those ideas and we can really turn them into something great for real estate agents. Because I think, another big thing I focus on is, I feel, you know, I truly believe that sales and marketing are two different things. It takes two different brains to really operate. You're a unicorn if you can do both. And there's a lot of people that can do both, but you can't do both for a long time and build a sustainable, you know, system that can grow. So we like to really separate that. You guys want to do the sales. You want to go out and get more listings. You don't want to be, you know, behind Canva trying to figure out how to make a flyer. Like, we want to show you how to do that kind of stuff. And we really want to put that at your fingertips, not just by doing a class, but a very hands-on class, like on TikTok. And I know like Jen's an expert on TikTok, but so most people can't figure out how to do a video on there. So we do a lot of training with that. We have a ton of training on like doing videos on a budget. You know, a lot of people think you need this big video studio and this big setup and nice camera. We'll teach you how to do professional videos with just your iPhone. So we take a lot of things that ultimately, again, going to real estate conventions and conferences, I learn kind of what is it real estate agents are paying all this money for, and how can we just create a little class around that and teach it to them and show them how to implement it, and then really ultimately grow their business. Because I mean, let's face it, real estate agents are very like the shiny coin. You're like, I'll buy this, like you buy like a million like subscriptions to different things. You probably use one of them, and you probably have like 15. Exactly. And it's all to teach you how to like start. We have one that how to start your podcast. Like you can literally start a podcast in like 10 minutes. So it's super simple, and just break it down, and almost, again, figuring out that real estate agent's mentality in their brain and how they work. And, I'm a very high D personality, so I get it. We want straight, like tell me what to do and I will do it. Right. But if I have to watch a 4-hour class and pay all this money, I'll pay the money, but then I won't watch the class. That's true. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the other things too that I wanted to touch on is like you were saying, like, I feel like you guys aren't just the person processing the title. It's definitely a partnership where we learn a lot and we work together. But then also, we know in this business is all about the relationships, and like, I can't stress enough, I keep bringing up this camp that you have on Thursday, but several of those keynote speakers are people that get paid a lot of money to speak, right? Like, people go to conferences to see them. And because of your relationships and building relationships throughout this industry, they're right here on a training that you can get for free, So I think that that's just something that's been a huge.
Amanda, where can people register for the training, for the boot camp?
Definitely.
Oh, wait, we got a little.
So I'll put the link in the comments for you guys right after we close out. I'll put the link in there, so anybody wants can register. It's going to be a lot of fun. They can see Jason battle it out for listing presentation.
Today, I waited.
He's doing it. I've already committed him. You got to represent the Tampa market. I think everyone is Orlando right now, so you got to bring in some representation.
Yeah.
But it'll be really good. We have some amazing speakers. We're starting the morning with meditation. Then we're going into a good friend of mine, Nuria. She has a coaching company as well. She's going to start the morning with really stepping into your power and how you can really find what your true power is. And I think a lot of us, I did a seminar on that last month, but it's really like sometimes your power can be something as simple as just being a great listener. And a lot of times we kind of have this misconception that we need to have this galore, you have to have this amazing confidence and just walk on stage and be able to present things to people. But sometimes your power could just be in the power of being a really effective listener. And that's so important in sales, right? Is just being able to listen too.
Yeah. And then who else is on there? Is it Aaron Luden? Is that who, right? I think I saw his.
Am I losing you guys? Yeah. I think it's a little delayed.
Oh, is it? Okay. I can hear you. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Aaron's going to kind of close out the afternoon as well. So he's going to kind of close out the afternoon and do a good motivational, powerful speech as well. So we're super excited to have him. He's a big influence in our Orlando market. And I know you guys have heard him speak. He comes with so much energy and enthusiasm that it's definitely going to be an amazing, amazing afternoon.
That's awesome. And so now I guess last question I have for you before we wrap it up is just kind of, what are you seeing the biggest transitions happen in the real estate world that you think that are going to stick around? Or what, even with title and stuff like that, are you guys seeing more? I think that there was a lot of the drive-through closings. What are you kind of seeing? What do you think's sticking around and what do you think's leaving?
Yeah, no, I think that obviously with title, the implementation of the remote online notarization, which we've been able to do since January, and we were kind of on the forefront of that anyway. We were very fortunate to be able to already have been trained in it. A lot of the lender side of it right now, we can't ultimately, they're not all on board when it comes to the buyer's closing package, but with the sellers, we can make it a lot simpler, a lot faster. With remote online notarization, we're still doing, we kind of shifted to a virtual celebration too, which is a lot of fun where we're putting signs in their yard and doing fun stuff for a social distance celebrating. But I see that sticking around. I'm seeing that becoming more prevalent for sure, as well as the virtual presentations. I mean, how many times do you guys have, clients that are in New York and they want to wait until they get here to go look at properties. Well, waiting is hard right now. Every listing is getting what, 5, 6, 7 offers within the first couple of days. So I think people are a lot more apt to take a look at things virtually and allow the real estate agents to be able to showcase themselves through video and through that kind of marketing, and be able to sell a home, like, you know, sight unseen typically. And again, I think another thing is real estate agents being more comfortable with video and really focusing on their own individual brands. I love watching that, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, no, I think it's been exciting. I think, you know, it's been a crazy time, but some of the things that I think have come out of it have been pretty cool and awesome. And I think it's made it, you know, some parts of our jobs, you know, I think it's made us more efficient in a lot of ways.
Sure.
So no, we're super excited. And then as far as being, you know, I guess we kind of wanted to have you on because I don't think a lot of people know about you guys here in the Tampa market yet. You guys are doing some cool stuff. You guys, like I said, you guys just launched right here in January, right? Right before.
Yeah, so we just launched right around November. So, you know, super excited. Take a look at us on Instagram. So Celebration Title Group, you'll see a ton of videos. You'll see a lot of our closing videos, and you'll see how we really celebrate your clients at the closing table. Follow us on social media, obviously on Facebook. Take a look at our website, because we have a lot of links to a lot of our classes, a lot of things that we can offer you. And again, as you truly said it earlier, we want to be a partner. We want to make sure that we are providing things to you that, you know, you can go out and recruit, you can go out and get more business, you can go out and do those things that you're really good at, and lean on us to help us, you know, help you grow your business, help you grow your agent base. And that's something we're really, really passionate about. We love our real estate agents, we love our partners, and we love growing together. And we don't ever, I guess we say we don't expect the business. We want to continue to earn that every contract as it goes.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you guys.
And picking your brain.
Yeah, and thanks for all you do for the industry as well.
Yeah, we really love
you.
So, so we'll definitely make sure that we put the link in there for the summer camp. I love like all the videos I've seen so far. They're hilarious. You guys are all in your little camper gear. Great. So make sure you put all your information in there, and thank you so much again.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you soon. I'll see you on Thursday, Jason.
All right.
All right, bye.